They dominated Sentinels, and the biggest thing I think is their pace of play, their confidence on the rotations. Gaskin, you had mentioned that. I expect to see it here.
I'd expect to see it as well. Certainly when these two teams matched up against each other in the EU kickoff qualifier, what was a few weeks ago, they played this game type. Acend won it. They won it 250 to 183. It was relatively comfortable for them, but off the start, SLG with a big double just to try and solidify some early dominance here for Quadrant.
If anyone's going to pop off and answer back to Acend, it's SLG. This man is a master of his craft. I've been talking to him plenty in between tournaments as well, and he's been teaching me quite a few things. One of the biggest updates to the meta is the weapon drop combo, and I expect to see it coming out of him plenty in this game. He will take one, he'll drop as well, but so far so good for SLG and team as they have the early points.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of adjusting their controllers so that they've got that extra button on the back so they can drop that weapon a little bit faster, and it is coming down to the point now where if you don't have a controller that can do that, then you are falling a little bit behind. And I don't know whether there'll be any changes when there are patches, but certainly at the moment it's very important that you have the ability to drop that weapon, and the reason why is because we know you fire a little bit faster when you do drop that initial weapon.
If you're a pro player, every small advantage matters in the meta. You got to keep up with it, Gaskin, like you said. Whether it's changing your controller, changing your control scheme, or just getting quicker thumbs, right? Some of these boys just have quick thumbs, and we're seeing that on screen currently with SLG once again. 37 points account here. They got B, C, and then A currently being contested. SLG here to bait and switch, hopefully rotate out. We got one right in his face. He will take a trade. And Acend still a bit of a slow start off the rip. They need some slays.
Yeah, this is a really fantastic start for Quadrant. Acend haven't really been able to get back into this game ever since that early lead that Quadrant were able to find with the slays. But if we see Acend get control of A and B like they have done now, that's when Quadrant really need to demonstrate what they can do to break a setup. Because if Acend can get into a point where they dominate top gold, where they're holding one player towards A, they're going to make it very difficult for Quadrant to get across. And also, the sword on A is going to make a huge difference here now as well.
Losing the sword in a melee trade, you don't want to see it. Shady going to get away with that advantage, and let's see what he can do with it. Going to hold down control here. They still got A, B. Couple shots over to Red as he just plays it patiently. Notice how he has a repulsor, too. Wait a sec. You know what he's trying to do. He's trying to set something up. Your sword kill already. Presence in deceit. Teammates already with position, too. And all of a sudden, Acend, they're pulling this back around.
Acend just need to be careful they don't give up the elevator spawns towards A and give Quadrant the chance to set up, but it looks like they may have done just that because Chick is going to be over towards A. Quadrant are going to transition into A and B now, and now it's Quadrant's turn to try and set up and keep Acend back. So even though Acend, they went for the trip cap, they went to push towards C, it could be quite detrimental here if Shady is not able to get this kill, and it looks like he doesn't quite know where the players are, but if he can hold on to A, and if he can get an A and C set up, then Acend should be able to be back on the scoring.
Thankfully for this man, he's got quite a lot of coverage, though, as well. The moment somebody gets close is a dangerous game to play. We're about to see it here, but getting melted by a double cross there. Good way to delete him. So now Chick with an advantage into A. Couple nades just to slow these boys down. Now he has the sword. You can see his teammate looking for the flank underneath as well. And a great little cross here onto the hallway just to keep these boys in Acend back. Keep that pressure up as well. Now leading 72 here as Shady just slips on by. You know they're aware of it, though.
Just to give everyone a background of how these two teams got here today as well, because as we say, this is the winners bracket semis. They've already played series so far. Acend did drop a game to the lads in their previous series, whereas Quadrant are still undefeated so far in terms of maps. They both played 2 series, but this is where we expected them to get. They're both seeded 2nd and 3rd, so they should realistically get to these winners bracket semis. But usually we would see them in the winners bracket final, so this is a big chance to try and break into that top 3.
It's a big chance for Quadrant for sure. Acend, it's just, you know, whether or not they can continue the game plan they had in the previous qualifiers up in land, you know, dominating up against these EU teams. So far, though, Quadrant definitely quite a bane. We got multiple caps here on the side of Acend, though. Nice little answer back out of them on board with Sika. Sika going to make the rotation out through bottom mid here. You can see his teammates in trouble, but the grapple is a good way to get there, assuming he gets that rotation in time here. Teammates thankfully in position to help ensure he gets something, but not enough. That's actually Chick with a double on the feed. Can they break through with it?
Chick has really impressed me. He's gone from strength to strength, and right now, Quadrant, they need to find any sort of stronghold, and at least SLG's been able to break into gold and pipes here. One of the main areas you want to control on this map is the pipes area, is the top gold area, because you can really dominate the spawns, and you can kind of look at so many different angles across this map. If no one deals with you here, you are going to be a real nuisance.
Definitely can't quite get that second sword kill off. Instead, Snipe Drone will take it. He knows he's out of range, too. He's going to back out just a bit. and try to delay this. Acend still, despite Snipe Drone's predicament here, they're holding on to 113. They've come back, taking the lead. Nurik's going to dip his toe into B in a bit of trouble, and you can tell that Snipe Drone, he's aware of, that cross on his backside too. Watch him cut the angle, jump into Nurik, still take the kill. My God, Snipe Drone, the fact that he's alive, he's blocking the sight line on the back of the podium there too. Does go down, but great play out of him.
I think one thing that Acend have always done very well is they have a lot of confidence and they don't fear just kind of throwing themselves a mix and getting involved, getting into that B stronghold. You need to have those players with that kind of desire and that kind of confidence, because otherwise you just allow the strongholds to slowly tick up to the other team's favor if you don't have anyone who's prepared to kind of put their life on the line, put those statistics on the line.
Oh, but all that confidence, right, it comes from this awareness that these players have, though, too. Just their ability to predict what's going to take place, and well, especially with the callouts, the communication. I mean, we could see the pings going in up the maintenance bay, top red right there, just to make sure they know where these players are. You got Shady with coverage over top of it as well, but a full trip cap on board for Quadrant, so Shady going to move into B, try to slow things down just a bit. Two of his teammates dead on the feed, though, and Shady under pressure. Somebody steps in. Can this man get away with it? He can't, so Quadrant right back at it. 2 points a second here.
Again, really important that Chick, just jumped into B there. He could see it was being taken by Acend. If he didn't just touch his foot into that stronghold, they give it up. They don't get as much time. Instead, you contest it initially, then you get the information from the rest of the team, and then you get involved with that fight. Quadrant starting to break away once more. Ascend struggling to get back into the map here. Quadrant have got them pinned in 2 areas, and because of that, Ascend need to kind of force themselves through gold. This is perfect from Shady. Go through pipes, communicate with your team, and try and pinch A here.
Ascend looking for a chance to break through. You got Fragger sitting up top A there. He's about to face him. SLG does turn C, so they keep that rotation up. You can see Ascend with numbers onto A. We'll see if they take those fights. Going to try to get into B as well, but SLG going to do what he can to back them off. He recognizes he's in trouble, though. Unfortunately for him, he will drop. And Ascend, finally, a little bit of control on their side. Can they hold it, though? Nurik's looking to pester him. Sika just going to lock things down up on top. He's got the commando as well. Great positioning here. Good opportunity for Ascend and some time.
Quadrant need to do the same, though. They don't want to fall into the trap of pushing through tower or pushing through control, whichever you call it, because you leave yourself so vulnerable to being cross-mapped and to grenades, putting yourself in a chokehold. Instead, break someone out, either get B or push yourself through pipes so you can then try and take A. If you just allow yourself to be spawn-trapped and be cross-mapped, you're going to allow so many points to go in favor of the other team.
So close. Oh, does he get this? No, he doesn't. And you got to love the attempt at SLG. Almost gets the kill cross-map, has the repulsor in. He's doing everything right. Just can't quite pick up the kill. And I mean, it's just testament to Ascend and how elusive these damn boys are. That's a perfect out of Legend. He'll take A. His teammate can take the fight down below. And because of it, I mean, the ball's rolling here. Momentum back on the side of Ascend. They're starting to catch up and take over.
Quadrant just have to stop the bleeding. Grab C here at the very least, but look at the aggression from Legend saying, I'm not going to allow you to get C easily, and he'll get the reset. And this is where the points really start to count, Shyway. This is when it can be very difficult to get back into a game. But Ascend need to not give up these A spawns. As long as they don't give up A spawns, they're going to be in a comfortable spot.
And you can see Quadrant trying to rotate over to A as that happens, but Legend, he's got a cheeky flank here. Right up behind Chick, shots into him. Chick now dead to a nade. And all of a sudden, these boys are dropping left and right. Look at the kill feed, that's 2 dead. They got a lock on the map here. You got Sika in the hallway. They got presence on A. They got presence on C. They're everywhere. And they can't seem to find an answer here. Quadrant, they need to break through, and they got to do it in a couple seconds here because this game's about to end. 47, 48. Doesn't matter where you stand. You're going to lose this one. Ascend. They took control, and they took control when it mattered, Gaskin, right at the last, third of that game. Relentless
Pressure from Ascend as well. They noticed the weakness from Quadrant there. They recognized they could go for the trip cap, and they could keep them on a spawn cycle. There was 2 players spawning, and then 5 seconds later, another 2 spawning. So they consistently kept pushing those players, controlling the areas, and keeping the priority spawns as well, making sure they didn't give up elevator, didn't give Quadrant a chance to get back into the game. Instead, they forced them to spawn towards gold and the B area, and then they were just pinching them. They were collapsing them every single time. Right. Even though Quadrant gave it a really good effort, I think Ascend were just, that little bit better with their aggression and with their rotations.
I find they do a really good job of controlling the right spots on the map. So you got somebody up on top A, somebody in top red with an excellent cross. But then there's always a 4th player that's flanking, that's kind of cutting through the middle, that's coming up from below, that's getting right up into the spawn and just disrupting things. And I think Legend was that player in this game. We saw him rotate into that yellow hallway, take out the split spawner, and then take that top map position. And we could see at that one moment in the end of the game, you had somebody on A, somebody on red, somebody in long haul, and you know at that moment the spawn it's a terrible spawn. It's a spawn right out in C, right behind that turbine in C, and there's not much you can do there when you're being collapsed on from all sides. So the map control, the confidence, it comes out of Acend, and it comes out in the end when it matters. We can see it on the scoreboard there too. Didn't get to see all the kills, but I guarantee you the boys on Acend, they had a lot of them.
Yeah, and it was Legend with over 5k damage as well. I think you hit the nail on the head. He was the player who was kind of making waves for the rest of the team, and sometimes that means you have to kind of be like Moses, separate the sea. You have to get in between everyone, you have to split them up, and then you have to communicate with your team, allow the damage to be put down, like by Snipe Drone, for example. He's a great player at anchoring, and then he just allows the rest of Acend to run around and just be the crazy French players that we know and love. And honestly, French Halo has just erupted. Ever since Halo 5, we've seen such a huge buzz around these French players, and I love the fact that here in Infinite as well, they're dominating once more. A scene that has been dominated, I would say, by UK players back in the old Halo days, but slowly but surely, France have shown why they are the best, if not, you know, some of the very best around. As we look at our series layout once more, I think this series, the map layout, Shaiwei, is perfect for these two teams, by the way, because Strongholds Recharge is traditionally Ascend's one of their best game types, right? And then Bazaar Slayer, one of Quadrant's best game types, where we've seen them beat Acend in previous tournaments. And then we get to CTF Aquarius, which has been so close between the two as well. Maybe we'll get that full best of 3.
I'm glad you said that about Slayer Bazaar. I didn't know that coming in. So excellent. Like you said, Quadrant with a slight advantage as far as their history with Bazaar Slayer. Bazaar Slayer, a very difficult one, right? Just considering how open the center of the map is and how much of a lockdown you can create on that map, especially if you get into the enemy's locker and you have some of these weapons, right? You can have that presence on BR, have one of your lockers, have that opposing locker. Next thing you know, you're spawning and you can't get out of your house. You can't get through the cafe, can't get out of the BR because there's so many angles that they've got on you and so little cover in center map, especially when you take the rockets, you take the OS, the grapple into the mix here. So a lot to fight with. The moment that a team pulls away off that opening strat, it could definitely set the stage for the first half of the game even. We'll see.
It's the most important opening strat that I think there is in any Slayer game type that we have in Halo Infinite right now. But one thing Acend have struggled with is opening strats. That's where Quadrant usually take their advantage, but at least we are seeing an overshield grabbed here by Quadrant to try and demonstrate again their early aggression. And it is Quadrant up at the moment 3-2.
SLG, what a starting strat, by the way. He flies in, goes so fast to the other double doors. He must have grappled. He made it there before his opponent left their own double doors. So just just a testament to the aggression, the confidence out of these boys on Quadrant. And it's showing up just a little bit on the board here. 3 points to start. Legend going to play things slow from BR. As I say it, he rotates down bottom center. Teammates with him here. Shots into Chick. Chick with the rockets. Can he get out? Looks like he can. And some coverage out of Acend here. They take these weapons. They take this presence. Things could change.
Yeah, Chick just not able to get away with his life, and Legend, you know, is going to capitalize on so many players being weak down low, and Acend will now take the lead. And the last time they went up against each other, Quadrant did win 50-44. So it was a relatively close game. It's not like Quadrant dominated on this map by all means, but certainly Quadrant know they can beat Acend on this one. And previously they did it because of map control, because they were getting those rockets, they were getting the overshield, they were keeping Acend pinned in their base.
So far, so close. Either way, 6-7 here. Nurix, great positioning, teammate above him. They don't want to dip down the shotgun right away, right? Especially if that player has a shotgun. Risky place to be. And you can see SLG's looking for him. He'll take it. That's a huge kill on the Legend. Can hold on to his positioning here up top. Drops down, does spot another, and there's the combo we talked about. I mean, I talked to SLG about it. You got to be dropping your weapon, switching it out. It's faster, and especially if you want to pick up a shotgun after. I mean, it's just optimal.
Perfect time as well to get a couple of players down with the next overshield spawning. You can see SLG already transitioning, getting into a place with that grapple shot to grab it. This one should be an easy one. Grenade. Oh, he's missed it!
Oh, no.
And that, you know, everyone says it's easy to grapple an overshield, but even with the time on his side there, he's still just about missed.
And I love that about Halo, though. It's always deceptively simple, right? If you grab a rocket launcher, you think, okay, I'm going to get a free kill with this rocket launcher. Next thing you know, you either miss the shot or you kill yourself with it because it's so damn powerful. So just little things that we see in this game where any advantage is only a true advantage if you know how to use it properly. And because of that slight mishap, I mean, look at this.
Ooh.
Legend right now with the OS, he doesn't quite get a kill. Somehow Nurix gonna make a play here and he can flip it back around, but I mean, things can change in seconds.
I mean, Nurix just gave him the diddles there. There was no way Nurix should have survived. I think he's gonna be laughing his head off. And that is a big misplay from Legend, not able to finish it off with the shotgun in hand. And again, I don't think there was a reload. So another misplay, just little things not going the way of either team right now.
Oh.
Big double though from Shady, but not able to stay alive.
I guess the slight mistakes on both sides is keeping things relatively even, though, right? 18
Someone please
7,
reload it. Thank
17,
God.
Yeah, on the board. I mean, we get a close game. I'm excited to catch it. Chick right now, speaking of close shave for the man. He's going to try to get out to vents. Nice little delay as well to bait for his teammate, who's going to hopefully pick up some kills here. SLG, beautiful shots into Cafe just to keep Fragger up on the map a little longer here. But as that happens, Shady has rockets. Things could change with this in his hands.
Was a deep, dangerous area as well, holding the rockets in this kind of position, because you can be flanked. You can't watch everything, but at least he's able to secure a kill. If you can secure 2 kills with the rockets, then you feel like job done, right? Because that's going to allow your team to have map control for the most part. How many times do we see 2 rockets wasted? And, you know, it could just be those 2 kills that lose you the game, but there we go. 2 rockets, 2 kills. Shady has done his job, and now they've got control. The overshield's coming up. If Acend can get this OS, maybe they can start to get a lead.
So we talked a bit about map control coming into this. I mean, we're starting to see it. You can see all the boys on Quadrant. They're stuck on their side of the map, and Acend, especially Shady, has a beautiful position here on rockets. He does spot one, rotate to blocker, but while that happens, look at this. OS in the body of Snipe Drone. Snipe Drone going to barrel on straight through Cafe. Needs this kill, loses the OS, but he'll pick up the damage with it. Teammate does pick up the other, and somehow Snipe Drone going to skate out of that exchange and give his team a chance to pick up a couple more. All while I say this, somehow Quadrant continue to trade, right? Still, actually, I take it back. It's a 7-kill advantage. I misread the scoreboard there.
Nice little push here from Snipe Drone. But again, just, you know, not maybe recognizing how much ammo he had in his gun. The reload comes through, doesn't get the kill. Does have some sizzle sticks to work with, but Acend a 4-kill lead. If they can get the next set of rockets, then maybe they can make this difficult for Quadrant. But at the moment, Quadrant are being so relentless with their pressure off spawn. Acend haven't been able to really dominate the map as much as they would have liked.
Oh, okay, he does get the trade. That was the second time there. Nurix sliding in, picking up that kill on the player in locker. He's just getting by. He's getting away with some kills that you wouldn't expect him to. And it's allowing Quadrant to just inch their way back into this Fragger. Gotta be careful here. Nade's now coming back into Cafe. Gonna try to stay up. Does have this shotgun, 7 shots to work with. Plenty of opportunity here. Chick with an opening kill. Shotty out. He grabbed this, does, right in the toes. And a second one there to quickly reverse him, pick the shotgun back up. So Acend, they're not letting up on the pressure here.
Still just a 4-kill game. A very close one indeed, but now it's going to be even more. 33-29. But, you know, as long as Quadrant can keep this within a close distance, then all you need is that one power swing, right? That one set of rockets or one overshield. Just get them on a spawn cycle. But Shady being a real nuisance and somehow coming away with 1, almost 2. And that's always scary when Shady's starting to pop off like that.
Nurix not going to let him have it. Can he do more? Legend just sitting out in the alley here. And I like that play, just to double back, pick up shotgun, teammate with him. Can't afford to give up lives at this point. Like you said, just a 4-kill game still. Can he sneak his way through, though? One player directly above him. He's got that info. All while that happens, though, Sika with the OS and the presence here. 2 now dead. And that's going to leave that Quadrant member alone. I think that was Nurix. You can see them rotate the base just to make sure they don't miss anyone. But here's the Rockets coming into play as well. I mean, the OS, the Rockets, they got everything. And, I mean, the Cavalry is here at this point, Gaskin. It's 41-31. What do you do?
Yeah, it went from 4 kills to suddenly 10 kills because the power swing went in favor of Acend. They got rockets, they got overshield, and unfortunately Quadrant are going to really struggle to get back into this now. They want to slow the game down, but at the same time, they also need to make sure they do not allow just 1-for-1 trades. 1-for-1 trades happen, they're going to lose the game. They all need to be pushing together to be securing 2 or 3 kills at a time when they push. They almost have to play this one just as a rotational game. Work as a 3 at the very least. Push round, get behind, and try and do something. And just win a team engagement.
I mean, you said it. They can't afford to trade, but look at that 3-man push straight up into the base, and the bait and switching that comes in as well, too. Legend going to back out, replaced by a teammate. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do as Quadrant here if you're alone and you've got multiple challenging you simultaneously. We're seeing that teamwork come out of Acend, and it's just not stopping. 47 at this point. Unfortunately for Quadrant, it's a best-of-3 series. Acend, they got so much fire, I don't expect it to go out here. I think we've got a series on our hands, Gaskin.
Yeah, I think I gave so much hope to Quadrant fans saying that they'd won Bazaar Slayer before, but it seems like it's one of the games Acend have worked on because they look so dominant right now.
And they had the control, the map, the weapons, and we're seeing the result on screen. 48 here to 38 in the board. Just 2 more to close it out. Just a matter of when. Legend might not be the one to do it. He'll skate out for now. Random nade gonna kill him. But unfortunately for Quadrant, that's just not enough.
Still in it just at the moment, Quadrant. I know it's unlikely, but it's still possible. If they can get this overshield, then who knows? Snipe Drone just trying to be a nuisance, anchoring at the moment, but will take a couple of nades, 48 to 40. And Quadrant doing their best to try and keep this game alive, 48 to 41. And Snipe Drone still, no, he goes down, 48 to 42. Still game on.
What's going on here? This is actually, there's a potential comeback here. I don't want to get hope just yet. 48 still. Make it 43 as they coordinate into BR. And can they do anything else? You can see Snipe Drone now spawning up opposite map. Control on the BR. Fragger going to rotate through, take some presence out center map here. They've got the positioning they need.
Rockets as
well. Their potential. It's still 48. Rockets up. Okay.
Well, they're coming up in 20. And this is a situation now where if Quadrant can just hold off, grab these rockets, that could be 2 guaranteed kills, 48 to 46. Two players will be down, and then 48-48. So if you're Quadrant here, you have to stick in twos, stick in pairs, don't allow anyone from Acend to get out. Snipe Drone's going to take this fight, and he loses 48 to 45. But as we say that elsewhere, 2 members of Quadrant fall. So it was a little bit dicey at the end there, Skyway. But Acend, they still close out the series 2-0.